Okay, guys. So, please forgive me. Welcome to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction. You guys, I'm sorry if it starts blinking and glitching, but the show must go on, and so we are just going to keep on keeping on. If it bothers you and you can't sit and listen, um, I understand. But I really wanted to come on here tonight because I didn't come on last night. And I know that a lot of people are struggling and need support right now. So here we are. Just treat this like it's a podcast, okay? Um, so, okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys about helping others and, knowing that even with 5 days sober, you can still help somebody that's struggling. And I think that there's a big misconception out there in the recovery community that you have to um, be sober for 20 years to be able to help another addict in recovery. And anybody can help anybody. And just by sharing your experience, strength, and hope. That's how we help others, is by sharing our stories. And so I want you guys to be inspired and know that by helping, you can share your story by helping others. Yeah. I actually think it's going to end up being a little bit better. So anybody that's watching from Facebook, if you want to, I'm going to link our the YouTube channel over here so you guys can come and join us on the YouTube side of things. And I was going to share this video in a bunch of groups, but I don't want to do that because if it starts glitching, then it will be not worth it. So there we go. So, like I said, if it starts glitching out, you guys, if it starts flashing, just close your eyes and listen to the message, okay? Just close your eyes and listen to the message. All right, so I'm not going to, say what exactly that I'm not going to say who I am talking about because I don't want to slander anybody's name or anything like that. But I want to share something with you guys about some judgment that I recently experienced. And it's just a damn shame. So recently here, I applied for a certification. And the certification you have to go through to get it here in Arkansas. So the people that are giving the classes, they have to approve you, right? And so on this application, it asked if I was on any medications. So I filled out the information and said, yes, I'm on medication-assisted treatment. I'm on medication-assisted treatment. I work for a treatment center. I have been sober for 5 years. I have a YouTube channel where I share my experience, strength, and hope with others. I also sponsor people that are in recovery. And so I was putting down all my credentials. Well, I was so excited, you guys, to try out for this certification because although I don't need it because I'm already working in the treatment industry, it would have been nice to have it on my, resume. Well, I put in for it and I was denied. And the reason why I was denied is because I'm on medication-assisted treatment. So I just want you guys to know that the reason why I talk about medication, hey, Brandy, the reason why I talk about medication-assisted treatment, because no matter what anyone wants to say, there is still so much judgment and so much backhandedness going on in the recovery community by other addicts and alcoholics who are judging us. Hello. I'm on a live stream. I'll call you back. Bye. Yeah, it's okay, Evan. So close your eyes, guys, and just listen to my words, okay? Because the screen is going to be blinking because something's going on YouTube and they're glitching out. I made this platform 3 years ago. Okay? Come on, dog. Okay. I created this platform 3 years ago. And the reason why I created this YouTube channel, you guys, is because I needed support from other addicts and alcoholics who were taking the same journey that I'm taking. Okay? For those of you guys that don't know, I started my journey in recovery in 2015. I got on Suboxone after leaving treatment and being there for 30 days. I got out of treatment and I was really, really struggling. My son had gotten taken away from me by Child Protective Services. So I was like, you know what? I need help. And so I got on maintenance medication, and it was the best decision I ever made because I have actually been able to stay sober, which is something that I've never been able to do. I've never been able to get past 9 months of sobriety. And so I have been on medically assisted treatment for the last 5 years. 3 years ago, I started speaking out and sharing about being on medically assisted treatment because there were so many people that said they supported us, but they really didn't. And they were judging us. Hey, Justin. So that's why I started this channel. I talk about maintenance medication on this channel because it needs to be talked about. I talk about helping others and non-judgment because it has to be talked about. Because if the judgment wasn't happening, I wouldn't talk about it. But it's happening, and it's still happening. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because honestly, hey Liz, it really discouraged me, you guys, because I was like, man, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do in recovery. I'm helping others. I am staying sober. I'm being positive and uplifting and non-judgmental and encouraging. And you know, whenever I try to go and further my education and certify myself in recovery through this particular program, I'm denied access to that program because of the medication that I'm on. And so I just want you guys to know that judgment and discrimination is still alive and well here in Arkansas. And I'm going to go against this judgment that has been made. And I am actually gathering all my information that I need to gather. And I'm going to talk to the person that can help me with this. I wish I could tell you guys what exactly I'm talking about, but I don't want to say anything about it until I'm able to talk to him. Because if I can talk to him, he might be able to make a difference. And then we might be able to make a change for other people who want to get this certification. But, you know, I have many, many friends who are in recovery, who are on MAT, who have this certification and are doing so well, and they're helping hundreds and hundreds of people. And you guys, I just want my recovery to be looked at like other people's recovery. I don't want to be like looked down on because I utilize MAT. And then, you know, I even started thinking in my mind, do I need to get off of Suboxone? But if I got off of it and then reapplied, that would just be caving in to what they want. There shouldn't be a restriction on me because of the medication that I'm on. If anything, that just gives me more experience in a different area. And so, oh, Mark said it's working on Facebook, you guys. So if y'all want to come over to Facebook and watch the video from there where it's not glitching, you can. And like I said, you guys, like, please, this is just what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of people tell me, and there's a lot of people who tell me this, you guys. A lot of people tell me that I shouldn't focus so much on the medication, right? Well, I wouldn't focus on it if it wasn't something that I am still having to fight against the judgment and discrimination because of myself being on maintenance. So that's why I stand up and I talk about it, you guys, because it's still happening. People are still discriminating against me for being on MAT. people still don't take me seriously because I'm on MAT. And it just really is discouraging. And it's still going on. And so as long as that's happening and people are judging us for being on maintenance and not taking us seriously, then I'm going to keep talking about it. You know, I have worked so hard to get to where I'm at, and I'm not going to give up now. Okay. God blessed me with a mouthpiece for a reason. And I never realized this, but I have a purpose. And it's not about me anymore. Let me explain something to you guys, okay? It's not about me anymore. What it's about is people that come after me. I know that my recovery is valid. I know that I am a changed person. I know that I'm doing the right thing for me. But there are hundreds, thousands of men and women out there who are utilizing MAT, who don't know that their recovery is valid, who do feel left out and judged, who don't feel a part of. And isn't that the whole purpose of the fellowship and of recovery? For addicts and alcoholics to come together and feel a part of, to help each other. I just really want you guys to know that is why I talk about MAT on this channel, because there's still so much judgment going on. Okay. And I am literally dealing with it in real life here in Arkansas still. I was so excited to apply for this certification, you guys, because the person I look up to here in Arkansas that's in recovery, I look up to this person, and it's not this person's fault at all. He was fighting for me, but it's still happening. People don't take me seriously because I'm on maintenance. People don't believe that I'm sober. People don't think I'm in recovery. And do you know how that feels? It doesn't feel good, you guys. It doesn't feel good. Okay? I have to tell you that. Like, I might come up here and put on a brave face for you guys, but it sucks. It sucks knowing that my brothers and sisters in recovery are looking at me like I'm stupid. And, like I said, I have an amazing boss who literally knows my whole life and set me up with the awesomest treatment center in the whole wide world to help represent. And so I'm so grateful that I get to work with Dr. B, because me and Dr. B, we believe in the same thing, And so I'm so grateful because of this channel and because of sharing my truth, I have been able to come in contact with people like Dr. B and his team who aren't backwards like people here in Arkansas. Okay? People here in Arkansas, this is stunting the growth of this state. Okay? So we want to move forward and we want to have all-inclusive recovery. We want to believe in non-judgment, but we don't want to allow people that are on MAT to have a chance at becoming something in the recovery community and be able to work with others and be certified doing it. Like, that just doesn't make any damn sense. And so, I wish I could go on here and just like tell you guys everything that's going on and tell you the entity that I'm referring to, but I can't, because I want to make sure that I have my ducks in a row and I get all of the information I need. So that way, when I go to this bigger person to talk to them about this, it's going to be handled. And honestly, it would be different if I was like, I didn't get my way and I'm throwing a fit, but that's not what this is about. This is about a bigger issue. This is about the issue that people on MAT are still being discriminated against, and we are being X'd out of the running to do anything. What if I wanted to become a counselor in training here in Arkansas? Okay. Are they going to tell me I can't become a counselor because I'm on Suboxone? Does that mean I can't help people because I'm on MAT? Does that make me ineligible to help others? I get it. I lied so much about quitting. No one thinks I'm really done doing what I need to get straight for my girls. Hey Justin, I'm so proud of you, man. Um, so I just want you guys to know, like, for a minute there, I was like, maybe I need to stop being on my crusade. Is it still glitching, Sam and Misty? Maybe I need to stop like talking about Suboxone and the discrimination and the judgment from others. But this just reinforces in my mind that I don't need to, because there's still people judging us. Thank you, Beck. Hey, girl, I hadn't seen you in a while. I'm so glad you're here. And you guys, and I'm really sorry that it is like glitching over on YouTube. Let me get my link for Facebook. If any of you guys want to come over to Facebook, let me get it. Copy link. I'm one of these people that, like, here's the thing, you guys. I don't go and like try out for something unless I know that I'm 100% like know what I need to know to do that. Okay. So, like, for instance, if I want to be a cheerleader, and to become a cheerleader, I have to know how to do a round off back handspring with a tuck and then a dance, right? You guys, there's the link to the Facebook one. Come over to Facebook because YouTube is glitching out. There's my Facebook link. So I will make sure that I know how to do a round off back handspring and the dance. I'm not going to go to the tryouts with not knowing what to do, not being prepared. You know what I'm saying? And so I was prepared whenever I came on and was putting in for this certification. Like, I am prepared. I know what I need to do. I am educated in the disease of addiction. Like, I'm not just over here not knowing what I'm doing, you know? And so when I went up and I was just like smacked back, it's like, hell, like, thank you guys. Everybody's, y'all are all sending me friend requests and I'm approving them. Come on in, you guys. So it's like, how can we expect the recovery community to treat all of us with respect and equally if we are still judging the people on MAT and not allowing them the same opportunities as somebody who's not on MAT? How are we supposed to all work together if we're still enforcing that discrimination? You know, it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make sense, you guys. Hey, Beck. So I don't think it says that. I don't think any laws say that. And I think that if I, honestly, you guys, if I wanted to push this far enough, like, I could push it pretty far. And so, Michael, okay, so let me just, I'm going to highlight your comment because this is a misconception that has got to be talked about. And I love you to death, Michael. I know you're my friend. I don't think that you are trying to be mean or anything like that. So Michael said this, you guys. The thing with Suboxone is that it's never designed for addicts to use long term. It's designed to help addicts get their lives back on track and function as a normal human being. Okay, so this is false. This is a lie. This is an opinion. Okay, actually, there are. Suboxone was designed to help people. That's what it was designed to do. It was literally made to help people that have opiate addictions, also made for chronic pain patients. But there is no like textbook that says you cannot be on Suboxone long term. Okay? So that is just an opinion of other people. And I think it's important that people understand that that's an opinion. Did you know that somebody can be on maintenance medication for the rest of their life? You know, so there you go. It's that's the thing. Like, we have to stop talking like our opinions are facts, because they're not. That's not a fact. That's just an opinion. Somebody can be on medication assisted treatment for long term, short term, middle term. however long they see fit. There are some people that choose to be on maintenance medication for the rest of their lives. You know why? Because when we abuse opiates for so many years, the chemistry in our brain changes and we can't get back to that homeostasis point where we actually have serotonin and dopamine go into our brain and we feel like regular people. So a lot of people get on maintenance because it gives them that serotonin and that dopamine. Okay, this way of thinking, this is an old school way of thinking. You know, medication management can be used for the rest of your life. You know, there's some people that utilize maintenance forever. And so it really is a case by case issue. It's not something that is each person has to be on it for a lifetime or each person has to be on it for 6 months. And that's the problem in the recovery community is that people get this opinion in their mind and they want to make it facts and it's not. I hope that helps you guys understand. Hey, Jose. And so here's another thing. When we talk about mind or mood altering substances, let me just tell you guys what a mind or mood altering substance is. Do you know that sugar is a mind or mood altering substance? Do you know that caffeine is a mind or mood altering substance? Did you know that my psychological medications that I have to take so I don't kill somebody is a mind or mood altering substance? It is altering the chemical in my brain so that way I can function without catching a case. So if that is our thinking, then we would tell everybody, and this is the problem, you guys. People that are in recovery through these old ways of getting sober, they think one way, and they think that the only way is this way, okay? And it's, listen to me, people struggle with mental illness. Do you know that addiction is a mental health issue? And somebody needs this extra chemical in their brain to balance them out. That is literally all they need. And look at me, 5 years sober, you guys, 5 years sober. And that's all I needed. I needed to get on mental health medication and this medication to help me with the balance of the chemicals in my brain. Okay. And so, do you know how many people I know that go around and tell people they need to get off their medication because that's your opinion? And you could kill somebody like that, you guys. Do you know how irresponsible that is? This is what I'm talking about. We got to stop. We got to stop. We are not doctors. I'm not a doctor. Okay. I have worked with other people in recovery who had a lot of years sober, you guys, and they told me I needed to get off of my psychological medications because I wasn't letting go and letting God, because I wasn't fully conceding to my innermost self, because I wasn't being honest. Right. Everybody, and that's the thing, you guys, like everybody's experience is different. And so we can't just throw out a blanket statement, you know what I mean? And say, okay, everybody should only be on maintenance medication for this amount of time because all the people are different, you know what I mean? Every person in the world is different. So doesn't, if somebody doesn't respond different, if somebody responds differently to MAT than somebody else, like, okay, I'll use an example for you guys. I have met many people who have gotten on maintenance and they were able to get on it. They stayed on it for about a year and then they tapered off and then they got back on because they got off and they relapsed. Okay. And so if somebody needs a medication to function in their everyday life, then that's what they got to do. And so that's what I'm trying to say is that this whole judgment from people that are in recovery, it's got to stop, you guys. It shouldn't matter if your goal is to be, here's the thing, you guys, I am abstinent. I'm abstinent from all drugs and alcohol. I take my medication that is prescribed to me by my doctor. So when I don't even like saying that I'm not abstinent, because that's a lie. I am abstinent. I take the medication prescribed to me. Okay. And so even back whenever they first created the 12 steps, even back then, you guys, they knew that they were not doctors, and they didn't go around telling people what medications they needed to be on. Okay. If your goal is to be that way, then that is great. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is where I want to be. I'm happier than I've ever been in my whole entire life. I am, I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole entire life. I'm able to help other people. I'm able to give you guys the support you need that you normally wouldn't have because of so many people telling you that you need to not be on maintenance, And so every time I think that I should stop talking about medically assisted treatment, I get brought back to this very, very point that there's still so many people out there that just ball us up all into one group, and they think every person should do this way. You guys, there are many people who will never. I don't want to be that. I want to be what I'm on. Okay. I want to be in recovery the way I'm in recovery, because I help people no matter what. I don't judge people. I don't tell them what medications they need to be on, because my ego is not so inflated that I think I know it all. I don't know anything. I just want you guys to stay alive. I don't want you to die. If you guys have been watching me, I love you. I love you, Ob, and I love all of you guys. Listen, I love all of you guys, but I'm trying to fight against the stigma that is just alive and well. That's why I'm not a part of AA anymore. That is why I'm not part of Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. I love the 12 steps, but people in those fellowships, not Ob, have ruined it for me because they put their opinion into it. Okay? That is why. That's why a lot of people are not joining those fellowships anymore, because of the other people in them that take the program to an extreme level. Okay? That's why I am in Mara now, because I feel like I don't want to have judgment. I want to be with people who don't judge anybody for their pathway. And I want to be open-minded, and I want to be supportive and loving and tolerant. And that's what I believe, And for so many years, I've tried to fit into this box with other people in in these other fellowships, but every time I get in there and I think I'm fitting in and I think I'm doing good, I run into somebody that makes these blanket statements and says stuff like that. And Michael, I love you to death, man. I ain't got nothing but love for you. But to say something like MAT is only meant to be short term is a lie. It's an opinion, and that's what it is. It makes me upset when I hear people saying things that are opinions and trying to pass them off as facts. There's data out there that supports medically assisted treatment long term. There's also data out there that is proving that people that are on maintenance are not relapsing and dying. And honestly, you guys, if a person on maintenance and they get into a fellowship and they're working a program, then what makes them any different than anyone else that's in that fellowship? And that's another thing. Like, I really want you guys to hear me. You know what I'm saying? I really want you guys to hear me, okay? If I never told you I was on maintenance, you would never know. I tell you because I want to help other people who have felt like me. I have been judged by people in the rooms. I have been told I can't share. I have been told I needed to get off medication. Now listen, I know I have a strong recovery. I know from the outside looking in, you would say, You're strong in your recovery, Nicole. You're doing everything right. Why don't you get off that medication? You're just using it as a crutch, Nicole. It's time. You can stand on your own 2 feet. I know. I hear it all the time. And this is what I have to say to that. I'm doing something and I finally found something that works for me. Remember when you first found your recovery and you found what worked for you and now you're working it and you would never ever change it? That's what's happened for me with MAT and Mara. Is I finally found something that works for me and I can stay sober. And I've never been able to do that. So why would I stop doing what I'm doing? Because other people judge me? Because they want to tell me not to be on it? Just like any medication I'm on, if I jumped off of my Lexapro, I would be so ill. Do y'all remember a year and a half ago when I tried to jump off my Lexapro cold turkey? Listen to this, you guys. Oh, if you come off of Suboxone without tapering, you will be sick. Just like if you come off of Lexapro without tapering, you will be sick. Just like if you jump off of Wellbutrin, you will be sick. These are medications that mess with the chemistry in your brain because the chemicals in my brain don't work right. So I have to have this extra chemical to balance me out. So let me tell y'all something that I did a year and a half, 2 years ago. A lot of you guys will remember it. 2 years ago, I think it was January 2018, I think. I decided I was going to jump off Lexapro. I said, fuck it. I'm taking matters into my own hands and I'm getting off Lexapro. And so you know what I did? I just stopped taking it. I stopped taking it, and you know what happened to me? About 3 to 4 days into it, I started feeling like my head was detached from my body. I started seeing tracers and things in front of me. I started getting thoughts of killing myself. I couldn't walk because my eyes were going like this. I was in such heavy withdrawal from the Lexapro, which is a SSRI, psychological medication for depression and anxiety. I almost took my own life because it was making my head feel I was so sick. So I immediately called my doctor. Love you, Candy. Immediately called my doctor and I got back on the Lexapro. Any medications that you take over a long period of time, you guys, it's always best to taper because they are going to cause some kind of withdrawal. Okay, and that is a medication that is not an opiate or a narcotic. It's literally a medication for anxiety and depression. And that's what happened. Going through that was worse than any opiate withdrawal I've ever went through because it was making me feel crazy. It made me feel like my head, like I said, was floating in the air and spinning like this. I couldn't even drive my car, you guys. I was at work trying to hold on to cards and stock them, and my body was shaking violently. So when people ask me and say things like that about maintenance medication, they say, well, you can't get off of it because that's what I say to them. It's not a good idea to come off of any medication without the care of your doctor. And that's something that we really need to understand is that under doctor's care, what I'm doing is absolutely legitimate and it is being cared for by a doctor. I'm being monitored by a doctor. That's why I get so upset with people when they say things about maintenance and they say that, because it's just the same thing as being on a mental health medication. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to get mad. That's why I want you guys to understand something. Like, there's some people who will be able to taper off maintenance medication and walk off of it and do amazing and stay off of it, right? Then there's some people who will try to walk off of it. I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. Okay, I have mental illness. It works for me to stay on these medications. Okay, that's why I stay on these medications. Suboxone helps me with my depression also. That's why I have stayed on it as long as I have. You know, I even figured out that when I got down to a lower dose, that it helped me. You know what I mean? Because when I was up on 12 milligrams, I was starting to feel like lack of motivation. So my doctor and me got together and we tapered down to 2 milligrams, and now I feel great. And that's why I worry about some of you guys, because I know, listen to you guys, Michael is a good guy. Michael, I'll say it again. I love you, man. I love you. But like, your sponsor should have never told you that you need to get off of anything. Like, that's not a sponsor's place. And that's what I'm talking about these 12-step fellowships. A lot of these fellowships, these sponsors, they get their ego in them and they think that is their place to tell their sponsee to come off a medication. That is wrong and dangerous, and it can kill somebody. I have seen so many people go through the same thing where their sponsor told them they needed to get off a medication. They jumped off the medication and relapsed, or they came off the medication and never came back to the rooms. Okay? And this is the thing. This is why I tell you guys that I love the 12 steps, but I hate the people that ruin it for everybody else. I had my sponsee call me the other day. She is going through really, really, really bad, really bad fear and PTSD, to where her anxiety is like she's having fight or flight, right? Constantly. She can't even drive her car because she's in constant fight or flight. Okay. She called me the other day and she was really in a bad way. And so my automatic thought was not, okay, you need to tell her that she needs to take this, 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 and this, or she needs to get off this, this, and this. My automatic thought was, you need to call your doctor right away. And I will do anything I can to support you. We can pray through this. We can meditate through this. We can do some yoga through it. But you have got to call the professionals. And what happens is, I see so many people who don't ask their sponsors to help them with taper, that their sponsors just give them this suggestion. And that is dangerous and it's wrong. Now, if somebody says, if you're telling everybody, I want to taper, I want to get off Suboxone, I want to get off Suboxone, then yeah, okay, then I'm going to support you through that. You know what I mean? I'm going to lift you up and I'm going to support you while you do that. That's all. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that you need to do it, and I'm not going to tell you that you have to do it in order to work the steps. I'm not going to tell you that you have to do it in order to be in recovery. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? And this is a great conversation that we're having, because I think a lot of people don't understand. You know, when you guys sit here and you talk with me, y'all see me every day. You see how I act. You see like how consistent I am with my channel. Like, you guys know, I'm not over here getting high. I'm not over here doing stuff I'm not supposed to be doing. And so the proof is in the pudding, what you see in front of you, you know, that what I'm doing is working for me, you know? And so for those of you guys that do support what's working for me and understand why I do it, I appreciate you guys, for real. If you have questions about why I do things, I don't mind y'all asking me that, right? But it has to be when the person is ready, if that's something they want to do. And what we have to do is, we shouldn't be judging any of you guys if you're on maintenance, okay? And this goes for any medication, all right? A sponsor I worked with, she had been sober for 31 years, and she called me and we were talking, and she called me because she wanted to talk to me about a medication that she was getting on because of her anxiety. And so she called me, and she called her sponsor, of course, but I was her sponsee. And she told me, you know, I had to call my sponsor and tell her that I was getting on Xanax for my anxiety. This woman's 31 years sober, you guys. And you know what her sponsor said to her? And I'm not a doctor. If your doctor says you need to get on that for anxiety, then get on it for anxiety. Take it as the doctor tells you to take it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And her sponsor didn't even flinch. She didn't say, oh, Xanax is a benzodiazepine, you can't get on that. Because she knows that her sponsee is in a good place. She's not trying to drug seek. Her drug of choice was alcohol, but she was really having a hard time with panic attacks. Now, there's a difference when you have somebody out there, you guys, that you're working with that has constantly been trying to find some way to get drugs in their system. They're going to every doctor trying to get a diagnosis for pain or for anxiety, or I am talking about somebody like me. I'm solid. I'm not over here drug seeking or trying to find anything. You know, if I went to the dentist and had 6 teeth pulled out and I needed to get hydrocodone for the pain, I would call my sponsor and I would say, "Spons, I just got this medication. I'm giving it to my mom, and she's going to prescribe it or hand it to me as it's prescribed." Do you know what I'm saying? We are not beating your sponsor up, Michael, but we want you to know, like, this is what a lot of us has been through, bub. A lot of us have been through this where we've had sponsors tell us we needed to get off medications, and that should never be something that comes out of their mouth. You know, it really isn't. Like, it's an absolute do not cross line. And that is what a lot of people have been judged in these fellowships and made to think that their recovery wasn't valid because they are on maintenance. And so it hurts when you have somebody that you trust that is giving you medical advice. Okay. It's an in general situation. You just volunteered the information in the chat. So we all want to tell you that we've all been through that, and I've had sponsors that have told me that I needed to get off my medication, and I literally walked away from them and never talked to them again. You know, even if my sponsor was a doctor and she told me I need to get off my medication, she's not my doctor. Okay, so she doesn't know my situation clinically, and that is what's so important, that these doctors have to build a clinical evaluation of us. It's not like you walk in to the doctor's office and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay," and they just write. A good doctor is going to do their clinical work with you, and that's how these people. I didn't just walk into a clinic and get given Suboxone. I was seeing a psychiatrist in my treatment center who knew my whole story, who knew that I had a history of chronic relapsing, who knew that I was a polysubstance abuser, addicted to the multiple substances at the same time, uppers, downers, and all arounders. And so medication assisted treatment was literally a perfect fit for me because the fact that I had struggles with chronically relapsing. Now, I even want to talk about this, you guys. A lot of the times I've been told that the reason why I'm on Suboxone is that I really don't want to be sober, or I really don't want, I have a reservation. That's what I've been told, that the reason why I'm on Suboxone is because I still have a reservation to use. Okay. And so here's what I have to say to that. And you guys also have to understand, like, this is what we have been taught. And I'm just sharing this with you guys, not because I'm mad at anybody. I'm not mad at anybody that has ever said this. I want you guys to hear the things that we're being taught by these programs, that it's first of all, the only person that knows whether or not you have a reservation to use is you. Okay? I don't want to get high ever again, and I think you guys know that. I also was blessed with a brain, though, and I know my track record, and I know my past and how many times I've gotten sober and relapsed. And so I'm being proactive by utilizing Suboxone because it's something that can help me. Okay? I don't ever want to go back to drugs and alcohol. And this is one of those things that I use as insurance, you know? And that, yeah, the whole conversation, I think, started because somebody had commented about Suboxone only being used short term. And so It is literally my work. This is what I live to do, I live to share with you guys and help people understand that these things that people say that they're telling you and they're saying to you, it's not true, you know? Um, we have a lot of vulnerable people that come to Real Talk Recovery that are just getting on Suboxone, and they are already feeling horrible about their choices. They are already feeling uncomfortable and judged because a lot of us, that this was the last thing we wanted to do. The last thing we wanted to have to do was to get on a maintenance medication, because in our minds it made us feel like we couldn't do it, like we couldn't do it like everybody else was. But now what we're all learning is that there's a lot more people who couldn't do it too. And that's the thing about this. For so many years, many years, and this is true, and y'all fight me if it's not. For 70 years, the only way of recovery has been taught is the 12-step model. It is taught in rehab treatment centers all across the nation. Okay? Also, these rehab and treatment centers have all across the nation have been 30-day treatment centers, which is also something that is not working. Okay? Then the opiate epidemic came along and everybody started getting hooked on heroin and fentanyl, right? And many people were dying. And so this old, outdated way of thinking, thank God, people are starting to change their mind, you know? We're starting to change the people's minds because they're seeing that the work and the proof is being shown because of people like me who have been on maintenance and have been able to achieve many great things that they never would have been able to do if they hadn't tried the medication. And so all those years that we've been taught the one way, you know, so I understand why the recovery community kind of bounces back and says things like, you know, recovery Suboxone should be used short term, or Suboxone isn't recovery. I understand, because the only way y'all were ever taught was that AA 12-step model. And like I'll say it again, you guys, I love the 12 steps. They helped me so much. The 12 steps have taught me a new way to live my life. They have literally taught me how to get in contact with God and have a relationship with him. I had lost God because I was mad at God because I felt like he abandoned me. But what I learned through working the 12 steps is that he didn't abandon me, that he was always there. And now I have him. And I could have not learned that. I never would have learned that if I hadn't worked the 12 steps with my sponsor. Okay? But now I'm here to tell you guys that me being on Suboxone doesn't stop me from getting the spiritual awakening and the amazing experience that I got from working the 12 steps. But if you talk to other people, they would tell you that I'm not able to get that experience because I'm on maintenance. Do you see what I'm saying? People would tell me that I'm blocked off from the sunlight of the spirit. Can you believe that? Because I'm on maintenance. You know what I mean? And so we have all been told these things, which is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. And that's why when people, I always like having conversations about this, because I want to share with you guys exactly why that is not true and how my life has changed. You know what I mean? And how much I have been able to accomplish. And that's why I keep talking about it, you know? For a long time, what has happened is we have had to fight back and almost prove, and that's what I'm trying to get to people to understand, is that I don't have to prove my recovery to anybody because I'm doing it. It's like I'm sober and I'm living my best life, right? But as long as there's people out there who are saying things, then I'm going to say something back. because there's people that are underneath me and that have not gone yet, who will be coming in, and they'll say they are like so proud of themselves. They're on Suboxone, they're kicking ass and taking names. It's the first time they've ever been able to stay sober for a year, and they say, my name's Nicole and I'm sober. I've been sober for 365 days. And then they start sharing their story, and they talk about how they went to the Suboxone doctor, and then all of a sudden everybody's faces change. You're not sober, or you can't say that. All that starts happening. Okay. And so that is why I talk about it, that is why I share with you guys about all this, because there's so many people out there who are still judging people like us who are utilizing MAT, and it's not going to stop, you guys. And so that's why I want people to know that they have support over here with us. We have such an amazing community of people here who believe in each other, and that's what this is about, is our fellowship. We have a huge community here, y'all. And I couldn't do it without y'all. I'm just up here chilling. You guys have made the community what it is. You know what I'm saying? I wish people would go. And see, here's the thing also, and like, I understand that people have an opinion, but this is how I think about it. Like, I think there was a guy in here that was saying something about something. I wasn't getting his comments all the way, but I had seen that he was saying something. I just want you guys to understand something, that we are all in this together, and I want us all to support each other. And, maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop talking about the medication, because maybe if I just stopped talking about the medication, it wouldn't be an issue. Then nobody would know I was on it. But then how would the people find us that need to find us, I'm no longer believing. I believe in looking deep inside myself and looking at my principles and beliefs. What can I live? What are my convictions? I learned over the years, when I prayed and meditated, I was thinking of what thoughts are good, pure, healthy, helpful to myself. I do not have an image of God in my head. All I see or sense, he is unknown spirit, and nobody really knows who he is. I know, that's right. I don't even know if he's a man or a woman. What do you think about that, Ob? I know. And listen, the reason why we're talking about this, you guys, is because, I was talking about maintenance at the beginning of the video, and we just got into the conversation, right? So I wish that I didn't have to talk about it, and I could just come up here, and I could just come up here and I could just share my recovery like I do, right? But every now and then I feel like we really need to talk about it, because people need to know that we are here for them. And that's what I want you guys to understand, is that whenever I started Real Talk Recovery, okay, there was not a group of people going around and talking about MAT in a non-judgmental, all-inclusive way, okay? It was a very small percentage of people. People were trying to get things like this started, but there wasn't a lot of friction. There wasn't a lot of momentum. And so I wanted to start this so that way we would have each other, Everyone in a group was like, wow, I won't be here at that long, and yada, yada, yada. Oh, Deidre, I'm sorry, girl. Hey, Captain. And so here's what I want from all of us, okay? I want all of us to know, and I want you all to know, that what you're doing for your recovery, I'm proud of you. I share because I want y'all to know that I have felt exactly how a lot of you all have felt. I have had people look down on me and shoot glances at me when they know that I'm on maintenance. And I want you guys to know that there's a place where you can be safe here, and I want you to feel comfortable here. And I want you guys to know that I'm not ever going to tell you guys what you need to do and how you need to do it and what time you need to do it. And that's what I'm starting to learn, is that I can only take care of what's good for me. And I only know what's good for me. And so it's taken me a long time to get to this point, you guys, because believe me, when I first got sober, I did think I could tell people things like how long they need to be on their medication because I didn't understand. But now I do, you know? Love you, Michael. We love you, man. We love you. It's a good conversation. I love having conversations like this. No, I love you a lot. Yeah, I'm very, and here's a thank you, Misty. You're welcome, girl. I am proud of you guys. Okay? I am proud of your recovery. I am proud of how far you've come. I am proud that you have taken the step to change your life. A lot of people don't ever make it to this point. A lot of people never find recovery. What we are trying to do here on this channel is we are all trying to come together and instead of just getting on medication, we're trying to learn how to stay in recovery and learn new ways of living. See, it's not just about being on Suboxone or methadone or Vivitrol or Sublocade or mental health medications. It's about changing your mindset and your thinking. It's about doing the work on the inside. I could sit up here all day long and tell you guys how great my life is and how much I love recovery. But if I'm not doing anything and I'm not actively working on being a better person, then I'm full of shit. There was a time where when I first got on maintenance, where I was just like still the same drug addict that I was when I got on it. I hadn't changed any of my behaviors. I was still acting a fool, right? It was at the very beginning, of course, because my son was still in care and I was walking into the Kroger and the Walmart stealing stuff, just like I used to do in my active addiction. I had to learn that recovery is not just about taking the substances away. It's so much more than that. And I think we all need to really start realizing that recovery has nothing to do with the medications that you're prescribed. Nothing. And it has everything to do with the changes that you're making in your behaviors and how you treat other people, how you treat yourself, whether or not you're dependable and responsible. These are things that have to do with recovery. What medications you're prescribed, I don't give a fuck. You know, and that's the thing, like, if we peel back the layers of that onion and we all start looking at it and realizing that recovery really has nothing to do with what you're prescribed. A lot of us forget that, you guys, and we get caught up, right? About existentialism, what's that? Imagine if I just focused. What's up, Paulie? Imagine if I just focused on what medication every person was on. Oh, what? You're on Halidol. You can't be in recovery. Huh? You're on gabapentin. You can't be in recovery. Huh? You're on psychological medications for schizophrenia. You can't be in recovery either. Okay? Do y'all hear what I'm saying here? It doesn't make any sense. So take that away. Take away the medication. Take away what you're taking because it's prescribed by your doctor. What is recovery really about? It's about changing. It's about being better. It's about not doing dumb shit anymore. It's about treating ourselves with respect. It's about not hurting and harming others. It's about being responsible. It's about loving and being kind and supporting people. That is what recovery is about. Okay? Damn it. Ob, are you still here? That's what recovery is about, you guys. Okay? Damn, is this still glitching? Look at this. I'm so sorry it's glitching. Y'all want to come over to the Facebook side? Bam. There you go. I wish that all people in recovery could see that and understand and really think about it. Just like whenever we were using drugs and alcohol, just like the problem wasn't the drugs, it was us. The problem isn't the substances. The problem is already lies within us. And so in order to get better, we have to address the problem, which is us. Has nothing to do with the medication and everything to do with me. And so what do y'all think about that? If that rings true, then people being on medication shouldn't matter if the problem is truly within me. Let me find my... See, I love this book, but I don't like to read out of it because of the people that judge. But it's not this book's fault. Hold on. I know, Ob. I know. I know. And you know what, you guys? It shouldn't matter. And I know that I've set myself up for this, you know. I know that because I made my channel about medically assisted treatment and supporting other people, that I have opened up the door for people to ask me and stuff like that, which that's fine. I just want you guys to know that it's more for you than it is for me, because it doesn't matter. Like, if you have to be on maintenance medication, don't stop doing your recovery, okay? The recovery comes from within you, and it's what you're doing to be a better person. And if that means that you're on maintenance and that helps you to be a better person, if that helps you to be a mother, if that helps you to work at a job, then you just keep doing what you're doing. You know, I just want you guys to know that for so long, I felt like I wasn't good enough because I was utilizing Suboxone. And I felt shame because I was utilizing Suboxone. And I should have never felt like that. And I blame myself because I didn't have to feel like that. As long as I know what I'm doing is right for me, then that's all that matters. And that's one thing that I have just learned. That's what I've learned over time, is that I have to do what's best for me. And I'll always update you guys and tell y'all how I'm doing on my taper. But I don't want you guys to be discouraged if I decide to never get off Suboxone, because that could very well be the case. I could stay on Suboxone for the rest of my life, you know? You have a sound mind, right? You can understand how the steps work. You are practicing 12 steps right, and you're not stoned and stupid. You have a message, and stop worrying about people judging you, or I'll come over and kick you in the fanny. You're right. You're right, Ob. We love you. It shouldn't matter. It doesn't, from my personal experience and your headspace and intention, that matter to me. Thankfully, I don't care anymore. I have to figure out my own routine. I'm so proud of you, Evan. Evan, you are strong. Hey, Jimeline, what's up, girl? We have been having a whole conversation, y'all. Hey, Keisha, what's up, girl? You know what? It is possible, and all you have to do is taper low and slow. Honestly, I have paused my taper, Jimeline, at 2 milligrams, and I have just been sitting here because I haven't felt comfortable going down anymore since we've been in this damn worldwide pandemic. But when I do start tapering again, I will let you guys know when I start my taper back up. And here's another thing. The reason why I started a taper in the first place was because I was struggling with this feeling of lack of motivation. I was trying to put my finger on what was causing it, you know? Now, I'm not 100% sure that it was the Suboxone that was causing it, but I'll tell you all this. Now that I'm on the lower end of the spectrum, I'm still struggling with lack of motivation. Yesterday, my best friend called me, Cindy, and I didn't want to talk to her because I didn't want to get on the phone. I was laying in my bed all day, working from home on my phone. And so the lack of motivation is still there. And so I was trying to lower myself down, and I did it with my doctor so that way I could kind of like see what it was. It hasn't. Yeah, that's me, Nikki Pludre. It wasn't the Suboxone causing my lack of motivation. So now we're back to square one.
Season 4 before, or season 4, or season 3?
Yeah.
Someone was on a boat, and that was a bad guy that was trying to kill us on Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
And I got on that boat, and I got a shotgun, and I headshotted him.
You come here and give me a kiss, boy.
No, that was a long time
Y'all,
ago.
I need help with my son. He's addicted to Fortnite. Nate, we're gonna have to work the 12 steps on the Fortnite. Say, I admit it, I have an addiction to Fortnite.
Shut up.
It's like self-esteem issues a lot of time for me. That makes me so. Yes, stay here, Sam. So, okay. When I start going back down, I will let you guys know. Now, I just saw my doctor in. When's the last time I saw my doctor? August. We're in September now. The last time I saw my doctor, I think, was in August. So I think I go back in October or November. He did. Oh yeah, I read that. The story in the back of the book. Listen to this, you guys. Also, wasn't Bill taking sedatives and hallucinogens? I don't know what I'm going to do, but I can tell y'all this. I needed a snack. My lack of motivation is hormonal. It's either related to my hormones or it's related to my liver and my hepatitis C. Okay? I'm trying to get set up with an appointment to get my hepatitis C treated. And that could very well, what's up, Cody, baby? That could very well be affecting my energy levels. He did? That's awesome, Misty. I'll tell you this, Misty. We're starting to do case management. And so I have been doing case management. So I might, if you talk to him, he might add you to the list for me to be managing your case. And see, so that's another thing to you guys. Like, I want y'all to hear me, okay? Like, I thank God every day for Dr. B, because he is teaching me so much, and he is teaching me, and he has taught me that what I'm doing, my recovery, is valid. He teaches that to me by also giving me new responsibilities and trusting me with patients and their cases. And so I want you guys to know that he's the best doctor in the world, and I'm so grateful to work for him. And I'm telling you guys, I could literally cry because he has given me so much confidence, and it's exactly what I needed, because I was second guessing myself, you know? And so he has helped me to realize that my recovery, I'm doing great, you know? Love you, Ob. Ob, I love you. That's my baby daddy. If Ob and me can have, Aubrey's all the way in Australia, but baby, I love you. You guys, and I'm going to use Ob as an example. Aubrey is a 12-step hardcore old timer. Like, he is the definition of old timer. He's got 23 years sober through the 12 steps. And if he can come in here and support me and support all of you, that just goes to show you that it really is a personal thing that people take on when they choose to judge us and they choose to think less of us for our recovery, because he's literally living and walking and exhibiting the principles of the program, which is love and tolerance and compassion and support and all these things is what he's exhibiting. And so I'm going to tell y'all something. It's easy to pass judgment on people. It's easy to look down on somebody for their pathway, right? It's different to actually give that person support no matter what. You know what I mean? So anyway, and like I said, I don't think Michael was trying to be judgmental, but Michael is one of these people who has gotten on, who utilized maintenance, and then he got off. And so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have noticed that a lot of people who are able to utilize maintenance and then they get off, they have a certain arrogance about them that they don't even realize they have it, and they forget, hey, like, once I was like that, and I don't know if, I don't think Michael's like being arrogant, but I think that he thinks because he was able to taper off in however many months, he said that everybody should be able to do that. And that's the thing that we all have to understand, is that no two people are the same. If I expected all of you to recover the way I have, that's an unrealistic expectation. If I expect you to stay sober the same way I have, right? Yeah, Ob is a man. That's a misconception. It's a misunderstanding. Like, I can't expect for you guys to do it the way I do it, And Cody, thanks, bub. I really appreciate that. Let me just say, you're a beautiful person. Your husband is a lucky man. Your kids are lucky kids, and we're lucky people. And we're blessed to have you in our lives. I appreciate you. I'm blessed to have all you guys. It's a two-way street, baby. It's a two-way street. And I'm blessed. You guys don't understand. Like, I couldn't do life without y'all. That's why I was like, you know what? If the channel's glitching, screw it. I'm coming on anyway. I don't know why it's glitching like it is, but it's really discouraging. Look at me. That's how long Aubrey has been sober, for like 23 years, you guys. And people like Aubrey are the people I look up to. Like, You know, I look up to people like him, and I just want you guys to know that I really thought that I should stop fighting for our cause, and I should, but the more I think about it, no, I'm not going to ever stop fighting for us. And it's not about me anymore. It's about the people that come after me. You know, that's what it's about. It's about the people who come after us, who need support, who don't have it, you know? And you know what, Cody? I appreciate you for saying that. Cody says, I came off everything in one night, and I don't think for a second that's how it works for everyone. Help people or stay out of their way. And here's the thing, like, even you being able to come off in one night, that is amazing. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. Okay. So many people don't have that experience, you know? And so, let me see if I can, hey, is that better? Yeah, I couldn't see as well. Okay. I think what happens, you guys, is we forget and we think that, you know, because we did something that somebody else has to do that same thing. And so I catch myself doing it too. And that's why I try to always remember that I cannot be giving people medical advice. I will tell you guys, hundreds of people call me every week, okay? And some of those people ask me for medical advice. I always preface what I'm saying by this is not medical advice. You know, if somebody reaches out to me and they're asking me how I take my medication, do I split it or stuff like that, I'll tell them what I do to share my experience with them. But it's so easy to just get caught up in helping people and then think that we know what's best for that person. And I have to remind myself, like, Nicole, you're not a doctor. You didn't go to college to become a doctor. You've got to be careful because I am literally helping. This is people's lives that I'm affecting. Okay. I wish that whenever I came off of dope, that I was able to do it all in one day. I wish that whenever my son got taken away from me, I wish that when he got taken away from me, that I could have used that to stay sober and never go back to drugs. But the fact of the matter is, when that happened to me, when that happened to me and I realized that I needed help, I was so done trying to fight on my own that I just reached out for help and got on Suboxone. For so many years, I fought against getting on maintenance because of my pride. And so I finally just caved. And I'm glad I did, you guys, because I've been able to stay sober for 5 years. Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you? Do you guys understand that I've never been able to stay sober before? Do you understand that I was shooting up with needles that I could barely get to pierce through my skin? Do you guys understand that I was using water out of a puddle to shoot up? Do y'all understand that I was homeless? Do you guys understand that I wasn't taking care of my son? Because of my addiction, I was neglecting my own child. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I need people to understand that my addiction was rampant in my life. It had affected all areas of my life. Not only was I a horrible mother and neglecting my child, I was a horrible girlfriend. Okay? I was hallucinating and accusing my boyfriend of being with other women when we were sleeping in the same bed together. I couldn't call my parents or be a good sister or daughter. I was a hot mess. And so getting on Suboxone literally saved my life. And then I started incorporating the 12 steps. But I'm going to tell you guys, if I hadn't got on maintenance, I would not be alive today. I wouldn't be alive because I wouldn't have been able to build any kind of foundation because I couldn't stop shooting up. Not only was I addicted to the substances, but I was also addicted to the whole shooting up. It was an addiction for me. The process of getting the needle, filling it up with dope, all that, cooking down the shit, it was all a process, and I was addicted to that also. And so just like there is levels to recovery and certain people are in different stages of their sobriety, there are levels to addiction, and there are people that are in different stages of their addictions. I was at the stage where if I didn't get help, it was going to be over. Death was not knocking at my door. Okay. And a lot of people get upset with me when I say things like this. And I'm not saying my addiction was worse than your addiction. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the progression, I had progressed to a stage in my addiction where I was on my last runs. If I didn't get the help and get on Suboxone, there wasn't going to be a Nicole anymore. I was going to die. Some people haven't gotten to that stage yet. Some people haven't experienced the things that I experienced. Have you ever sucked a D? Have you ever sucked a D for pills? Okay. Have you ever left your son crying in the car seat so you could shoot up methamphetamine? Have you ever lost your son to CPS because of your drug addiction? Have you ever sold a car for $3,000 so you could get more pills? Have you ever begged, pleaded, prodded people for money? Have you ever stood outside with a sign to get money so you could get more syringes because you didn't want to use the drugs unless you had a way to shoot it up? You guys, have you ever pawned your own wedding rings? Like, I want you guys to understand this. Like, I was willing to do whatever it took to get high. And so when I wanted to get sober, I had to do whatever it took to get sober. And for me, that was getting on Suboxone because I could not do it. I needed the extra help. And so it is what it is. So anyway, I've been on here for almost 2 hours. I love you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm sorry about YouTube glitching, but honey, we ain't going to let them take us down. So I love you guys. I'll see my patrons. Attention, attention, attention. If you are a patron of Real Talk Recovery, we are going to be having our patron only Zoom meeting tomorrow night at 7, and we are all going to be doing Codependent No More. So y'all want to do this with me. It's going to be great. All right. There we go. Okay, cool deal. There is our Patreon link. Like I said, if you guys want to do Codependent No More with us, come tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hey, Luann. Thanks for being here, girl. And I'm sorry, like I said, I'm sorry about the glitchiness of the computer or of the live stream. But if you came from Facebook or you're watching on Facebook, it seems to be a lot better quality over there. But I just want you guys to know, like, I was laying in my bed. I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting me and believing in me. And I'll see all my patrons tomorrow night at 7. In fact, let me put... If you want to support my channel and you believe in your girl, there is a link to Patreon. Just join. It's only $2 a month. All right. All right, you guys. I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.